I would imagine that in 1967 in the USS Forrestal, where we just had a horrendous fire and the ship was headed back to the United States, and the guy came on board and said, we need people to go over to another aircraft carrier and stay in combat. That was a very defining moment. I thought about that a lot in the intervening 5.5 years in prison. The other mistake was when I went to a meeting among some regulators concerning a guy who was a supporter of mine. It was a mistake and one I never should have made.
Senator Brownback?
Probably not telling my wife and kids and parents I love them enough, and just being more focused too many times on me instead of on them and on others is probably the biggest mistake I've made.
Governor Thompson?
My mother-in-law died of breast cancer. My wife has breast cancer. My young daughter has breast cancer. I don't think I was supportive enough, and that's why I'm vowing right now to end breast cancer by the year 2015 for all the women in America.
I have no doubt of what the greatest mistake in my life has been, and that is that it took me probably 30 years before I realized that Jesus Christ is my personal Savior.
Congressman Tancredo, thank you all very much. We have one more. We have one more round. I also want to bring all of you in on this for about 30 seconds each, and I'm going to introduce it by showing everyone something that President Bush said at the Iowa straw poll 8 years ago. It was his fundamental promise as president.
I know this. Should I be fortunate enough to become the President of the United States, that when I put my hand on the Bible, I will swear to not only uphold the laws of the land, I will swear to uphold the honor and the dignity of the office to which I have been elected, so help me God.
Congressman Tancredo, that was the core promise of President Bush's campaign, to restore honor and dignity to the Oval Office. What will you restore to the Oval Office?
Hope. Hope in America itself. Remembering that we have made a number of mistakes that have turned our friends against us, have encouraged our enemies. I believe that with all my heart, that it is going to take a leader committed to the ideas of Western civilization, to the rhetorical, to speaking out about the values of Western civilization. We can no longer afford political correctness. We have to tell people that there is something good, not just good, but great about who we are. That will restore America's faith in itself and the world's faith in America.
Governor Thompson.
I would open up the East Wing. I would open it up to bring in the best minds, Democrats, Republicans, Independents across America, that want to get something done with this great country. Instead of tearing it down, start building pro-America and make sure that we're not so politically correct, that we are sacrificing our values in America in this jihadist war. And by bringing in the best minds, the best people, we can change the direction and really start building America stronger and healthier and better tomorrow than ever before.
Senator Brownback, what would you restore to the Oval Office?
Rebuilding the family. You know, in Washington, D.C. right now, 63% of the children are born out of wedlock. Nationwide, the number is 36%. You can raise a good child in that setting, but it gets more difficult. Best place between a mom and a dad bonded together for life. I would stand for life, and I would appoint next justice, I hope would be the voting decision to overturn Roe versus Wade.
I love my country. I've had the great honor for more than 50 years of serving it in the military, in Congress, the United States Senate, and I am fully prepared, more than anyone else running on either side, to fight the transcendent challenge of this nation, which will be all of the 21st century, and that is the struggle against radical Islamic extremism. We must win, we will win, and we will never surrender. They will.
I would do the same thing that I did as mayor of New York City, and that is I would restore hope, but for the people of the entire country. Hope that this country can do great things, grand things, that we can build our future on optimism, not this kind of defeatism that I hear from the Democratic candidates, And in deference to the senator, I think the senator is a great man and very well qualified. But the fact is, I looked at the three leading Democratic candidates. They haven't held an executive office in their lives. They haven't run a city, a state, a business. I think maybe they've run a club somewhere. But the reality is, you've got to have some kind of experience for this job. You have to be able to show that you can accomplish things and you can get things done. And I've done that, and I would do that for this country.
Governor Romney.
I thought a lot about this question, and I take my inspiration from my dad, from Ronald Reagan, Teddy Roosevelt, the Declaration of Independence. My view is that America is going to be strengthened by virtue of a presidency. If I'm able to have that opportunity, I would strengthen America's military, make sure that we could be safe here at home. We know that we can be safe around the world. I want to have more troops in our military. I want to have them have the equipment they need in the battlefield and the care they deserve when they come home. I want to strengthen our economy, keep our taxes down, become free of oil from foreign places, strengthen our economy so we have great jobs and great future for our people. And finally, I want to strengthen the American family. In my view, families, a strong economy, and a strong military, that combination of features is what makes this party so strong and accounts for our great success in the elections over the prior several decades, and also is so critical to our future as a nation. Strong economy.